Yemen's Houthi forces fired drones and missiles at one of the world's largest oil shipping ports, driving crude prices to $70 a barrel overnight for the first time in a year. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Energy said the rebels backed by Iran targeted Saudi Aramco facilities. The attacks were intercepted, but it forced the kingdom to temporarily shut down more than half of its crude output. A Houthi military spokesperson claimed responsibility. The Houthis have been stepping up attacks on Saudi Arabia, even as the U.S. and the UN call for a ceasefire to revive negotiations to end the war. Just last week, the Treasury Department imposed sanctions on two Houthi military leaders in response to the attacks. The U.S. Embassy in Riyadh condemned the most recent attack and said the commitment to defend the kingdom and its security is firm. U.S. officials say Russian intelligence agencies are actively involved in a disinformation campaign to undermine confidence in COVID-19 vaccines developed by Western drug makers. The Wall Street Journal reports the State Department identified 4 online publications that were tied directly to Russian intelligence. The sites allege the U.S. rushed the Pfizer vaccine through the approval process and questioned its efficacy while playing up the risk of side effects. Officials also say the Russian government and state media used its Twitter accounts to raise concerns about the cost and safety of the vaccine. This comes as Russia aggressively moves to distribute its own rival vaccine, the Sputnik V, globally. Just last week, we saw European regulators beginning review of its usage in member countries as the continent struggles to speed up the vaccination process. And the Pope wrapped up his historic 4-day visit to Iraq this morning. The country's president held a farewell ceremony for the Pope at Baghdad International Airport as he completed a whirlwind tour. Pope Francis traveled across 5 provinces, bringing attention to the country's Christian minority and calling for coexistence and peace. He also urged Iraqis to embrace diversity while meeting with key religious leaders, including Shiite cleric Grand Ayatollah Ali al-Sistani. This was the Pope's first international trip since the pandemic began.